I warned them. I told them one spark was all it would take. And when the flames finally ripped through our perfect little park, the first scream I heard came from the woman who started it all, Karen Carson, Vice President of the Willow Creek Glen HOA. The Queen of Rules, the self-appointed guardian of community order, standing barefoot in her yard, watching her kingdom burn. I'm Daniel Cole. I used to be a firefighter before I retired. Thought I'd left that life behind. Turns out, fire has a way of finding people who recognize it. Out here in Central California, you can smell danger in the air long before you see it. The wind changes, and something deep in your gut tightens. That's exactly what I felt the morning I noticed the pile of dry leaves stacked behind my fence. Knee-high, brown, crisp, the perfect kindling sitting right where the city ordinance said no debris should ever be. I followed the scent of smoke down the property line and found a blackened patch, twigs curled from heat, one ember still glowing. Someone had been burning there, right in the shared easement that was supposed to act as a fire break. My neighborhood, Willow Creek Glen, was the kind of place where hedges had to be trimmed to regulation height. You couldn't hang a flag without approval, and yet someone had set a fire behind my house. I already knew who. Karen lived 2 houses down, the HOA's self-crowned monarch. She had that particular confidence only people on HOA boards seem to have, the belief that rules were meant for everyone else. That afternoon, I walked to her door, still smelling smoke on my jacket. She opened it with a fake smile and a glass of iced tea. "Hey Daniel, everything okay? Did you burn leaves behind the fence this morning?" She blinked, then laughed. "You mean the easement?" "Yeah, just cleaning up. The city never clears it, so I did. I always do." I told her calmly that open burning was dangerous. Illegal, even. She rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on, Daniel. You're acting like I lit a bonfire under your porch." Then she shut the door. I wasn't angry yet, just unsettled. The arrogance of it stuck with me, though, that tone like she owned the air we breathed. That night, I pulled out my old folders, fire maps, HOA bylaws, city codes. The rules were clear, no open burning within 30 FTOs of a structure, but Karen wasn't just any neighbor, she was the HOA. I tried the polite route first, sent an email, attached the photos, quoted the code. 2 days later, I got a reply from the HOA secretary. Board members may conduct basic upkeep of the easement zones. Ms. Carson has maintained this section historically with the HOA's implicit support. Translation, she can do whatever she wants. I upgraded my security cameras, a 4K feed pointed right at that strip of land. A week passed quietly, and I almost believed maybe she'd listened. But then the footage came in. Karen, pink gloves, big sun hat, dumping another load of leaves, lighting a match, waving at the camera like it was a joke. It stopped being about fire then. It became about power. She wanted me to see. She wanted me to know she could do it, and no one would stop her. I emailed the HOA again, attached screenshots, timestamps, county fire warnings. They thanked me for my concern and told me to bring it up at the next meeting. That's when it started eating at me. Every time I saw her watering her hydrangeas like some suburban saint, I wanted to scream. I'd seen men die in fires smaller than the ones she was playing with, but in this place, I was the crazy one, the paranoid ex-firefighter who couldn't move on. For a while, I started believing it. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe it wasn't worth it. The tension, the whispers, the way neighbors avoided eye contact. I stopped checking the cameras for a few days, tried to forget it. Then one afternoon, a neighbor named Emily knocked on my door. Her kid played in the park near the easement. She looked pale. "Hey, I don't want to start drama, but I saw smoke behind the fence again. My son said it was coming from near Karen's yard." I didn't even have to answer. I just opened my laptop and showed her the footage. Karen. Match. Flame. Walk away. Emily stared at the screen and whispered, "She's insane." "No," I said. "She's protected." That night, I realized silence was complicity. We gathered. A few neighbors quietly shared the videos, planned to bring everything to the next HOA meeting. When the night came, the clubhouse was packed. Folding chairs, bad coffee, cheap smiles. Karen sat near the front, tablet in hand, looking smug. When they opened the floor for new concerns, I stood up. Daniel Cole, 38. Over the past month, I've documented multiple instances of open leaf burning along the eastern easement. I have video, photos, and city code citations. I request a cease and desist. A low murmur spread. Karen gave a tiny laugh. Daniel, I think you misunderstood. It's composting, controlled burns. You didn't have water. You didn't have a shovel. You lit dry leaves and walked away. Greg, another board member, chimed in. Let's not turn this into harassment, Mr. Cole. Karen has served this community for over a decade. Emily stood. I saw one of those fires near the park trail. My son plays there. It was still burning. Karen rolled her eyes. Everyone's an expert on brush control now. I took a breath. I was a firefighter for 19 years, Karen. I am an expert. The room fell silent. Dana, the secretary, flipped through my binder. Photos of flames, time-stamped footage. The truth right there in front of them, and still, they sided with her. We appreciate your concern, Mr. Cole, Dana said flatly, but no disciplinary action will be taken. I stared at Karen. She smirked. Then I guess we'll just hope someone's got a hose ready. I left before the meeting ended. For days, I replayed that moment, her voice, that smug confidence. I realized I'd been expecting reason from people who valued appearance over safety. So I stopped asking nicely. I sent everything, every photo, every clip, straight to the county fire department, anonymously. I didn't sign it, just facts, timestamps, coordinates. 3 days later, she threw another backyard brunch. 15 people, pastel decorations, jazz on Bluetooth speakers. Around noon, I saw smoke again. Thicker, darker. I ran outside and saw flames licking up the fence line. I grabbed the hose, sprayed down the boards. Karen put it out. She appeared, mimosa in hand, eyes half-lidded. Relax, Daniel. It's under control. There's no control when the ground's this dry. She smiled and walked away, and somewhere in the distance, I heard sirens. By the time I reached the back gate, the wind had shifted. Embers rolled through the slats like red marbles. The easement was a wall of fire. It jumped the path toward the park, fast, hungry, unstoppable. I shouted for help, but the roar swallowed my voice. I could only spray water, praying the fence wouldn't ignite. When the first engines arrived, the park was already burning. Picnic tables, playground, the decorative pergola the HOA loved so much. And through the chaos, through the smoke and screams, I saw her, Karen, barefoot, mascara-streaked, clutching her phone, shrieking as her backyard trees went up like torches. The irony didn't taste sweet. It just burned in my throat. 45 minutes later, the fire was contained. 3 fences gone, the park blackened to ash, but no lives lost. I stood in the street, soaked and shaking as the fire marshal approached. You Daniel Cole? He asked. Yeah. You the one who sent those reports last week? Yes. He nodded slowly. Good instincts. If you hadn't documented this, we'd be talking about fatalities. Karen sat in the back of an ambulance, wrapped in a blanket, silent for once. Her kingdom had turned to soot. The next day, the sheriff's office opened an arson investigation. They took my footage, my emails, my notes. By the end of the week, unmarked cruisers parked outside her house. No handcuffs, just quiet questioning. The HOA, of course, sent out a community email, polished, bloodless, full of corporate sympathy. We are saddened by the unfortunate fire. No mention of Karen. No apology, but word spread fast. Insurance denied the HOA's claim, citing gross negligence. The board fractured. Resignations rolled in like dominoes. Karen was fined for illegal burning and public endangerment. A few months later, a moving truck backed into her driveway, and by nightfall, she was gone. I watched from my porch. No satisfaction left in me. The silence she left behind felt heavier than the smoke ever did. They always say fire cleanses. That's not true. It exposes. It burns away the pretense, the politeness, the comfortable lies we tell ourselves about safety and order. Karen thought she controlled the flames, but in the end, the flames controlled her. Lesson: when people treat warnings like noise, disaster becomes their teacher.